From here on out, T and I are only doing our picks at halftime for the second set because we nail that.
I'm so good at those. Even last night, calling tonight's entire first set was good last night, and then I didn't take the picks. I don't know. I need to just say them. That was funny though. Finkel's Einhorn is cracking me up, Greg. I love that. That was cracking me up.
It was a night of timber, even though timber was short.
Well, you should have been happy about that. I was excited for you in the second set when they went into that, and I was like, "Oh, Kev's gonna be happy." And then you're like, "Read my skeet." And I was like, "Oh yes, you are happy."
Hey, Michael. If you were a member, you could see the halftime stuff and you would hear it.
You would hear it. You would know.
You think it's funny to be a member, so we know
you
where that
hear
is.
Kev swamming it out and calling shots, and no one's coming. It was good. I mean, interesting. Again, brilliance, and then sort of oddities, but still a lot of fun and cool venue. Like I think they enjoyed playing there. I don't know. I'm sure everybody enjoyed going there too. It looked really cool, like the intimacy. So. Right on.
Right, the second set was good, but it wasn't. But we'll get into that. All right, Free. We knew Free was coming. Everybody knew Free was coming. It is probably the most reliable opener they have. Always has a solid jam in it. Trey smiles. Good way to start things off.
Most reliable. Yeah, I mean, yes, we knew it was coming. I will give you that. Like, I'm surprised it was kind of like Ruby Waves tonight too. I was surprised it took so long to get back to these. Only like you have songs like we talked about hitting 5 mark and 4 marks, and then some real stalwarts hitting 2. So I don't know. It's kind of, but I'm glad they got it. It was a great way to open. It sounded good. It was a good 9-minute solid opener.
I love it.
To get it going.
Free is such, it was like their first foray into college rock radio, and I think a lot of people in '96 picked up on Phish because they heard it on the local college station.
But you don't think that resonates today with songs like Ether Edge that you like don't like?
Do you hear that on the radio? Have you ever heard Ether Edge?
I don't listen to college radio though. Like you said, college, not just like radio, like college radio. So that's different than radio anyway.
Well, college radio is your college radio station, and they play the hip, cool stuff. That's where everyone heard about REM in the beginning.
Right, exactly.
Radio for Europe. This is great. Exactly. Back on the Train, I feel like it deserves more. It's such a groove, and it just lends itself to just opening up and going, and Trey reeled it in for theme.
Yeah, this is kind of the weird part of this set, I feel like. These 2 songs especially. Free was a great opener, kind of kicked it in the balls to get going, and then Train usually is such a reliable, fun jam in there. If you doubled that and got it out to 9 minutes, 12 minutes out of that, I think we're having a different conversation about that 2-slot song tonight. But it didn't get like sort of almost like the Wolfman. Yeah,
it was a throwaway.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't even. You can't even say it was serviceable there because it was so short and lackluster that it had potential, but it didn't get anywhere for theme. Which again, and then you get theme at 9 minutes, which.
I think Trey was worried about running out of sunlight because he always does theme when the sun's out. I feel like.
I think and these first 3 kind of made me like, because it was so early, like it's 3:30 here. I don't know. I was restless. So like I even like kind of just left the room, like had it on, but like went outside and like was doing other stuff. So I wasn't really in tune with everything.
The cat, walk the dog.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, it's on the background. I get it. It's theme. It sounds like theme. It's fine. But then when they dropped into cities, I was like, ooh, like that's interesting. Now let's see where this is going to go.
Right. It felt like the cities wasn't up to speed. It's still the little bit slow cities, but once they locked in after the verses, I feel like that's when the rest of this set clicked.
The rest of the set for sure followed this song, kicked off the rest of the set. Yes, I will full on agree with that because it was so weird getting into this, but that jam that they got into was so as soon as they dropped into that like type 2 section of it and that like sort of that jammy blissfully feeling of it was such a great groove. And then the drop back, the re-entry was just perfect. Drop right back into it and to close out the song. That was where they felt like, okay, here we go, like locked in. Like that felt like
Tale of Two Cities there, because the last one they did was short, very truncated. This one they let it breathe and they rode the funk. I mean, you know, if you're a fan of 93 Machine Gun Trey, I can see the cities being wonky and just woo woo, listen to my guitar, but I dig that. I really was into that whole thing. So.
Well, you know, Kev, speaking of 93 Phish and Trey, my first show was 93 Red Rocks, Divided Sky opened that show. That's one of my top all three songs. Because of that, I love that song so much. You happened to be there at the show that I did not know at the time, and Benji too, who shared in it with me, which is fantastic. So that song I love. I knew it was coming because how can you not play it out under that beautiful sky? It was a little early. I thought maybe you'd get a little bit later in the first set, but I loved where it was after Cities. It followed Cities perfectly. It's such a great, like Trey eating up the silent moment and just like breathing it all in. It's so perfect. Like it was just.
I'm glad they chose. I'm glad they chose Forest Hills for it because it would have been one of the next four nights, and it isn't as impactful at SPAC as it is in that bowl and watching it go down over the lip because it really wasn't sunset, but it went down over the lips, so it was perfect to
It got out.
I think the timing was good. They got it. By the time it was down, we ended up with Timber, and I was like, "Oh, here we go. This is going to be the jam of the night," and it wasn't.
It was getting there. It was good though. I mean, it got going, and in 7 minutes, you felt like it was going to be longer, and it should have been a lot longer. I mean, I was shocked that.
Well, it came back in Ether Edge. The jam in Ether Edge could have been in Timber. It was the exact same space they were doing. Trey just wanted to sing Ether Edge because he's like, "Look at my new toy."
Yeah. I mean, that was a great jam. I think that isn't that the second or third time now we've gotten a really good jam out of that song, though, like shockingly good. And the last one was fantastic, I think, too. So it was like, I don't know, maybe
probably the most interesting jam of the set. I would put that above the Cities because the Cities was very one note. It went through and did what it did, which I love. Don't at me.
But I think the thing is, no, what I think you don't like is the Cities was much more blissful and upbeat and almondsy and had a little bit of that Allman Brothers jam feel to it. Whereas the Ether Edge, and I said this at Intermission, had a melt feel to it. Like in the middle of that thing, it got darker and broke down a little bit and very much had that like Melt does sometimes and got those like moves in there.
What I like.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that's why I think that's where you're coming from with that as well. And I think I almost thought we'd get a Melt in the second set, but I think it would have been a little too much for that place. So I'm sure we'll get one that's back. But you could hear that in that jam. So I knew you would like that. I figured you'd like that a little bit more. So that's an interesting thing. It's almost like what the Well is. You know how it goes from the light to the dark. If they could do that with Ether Edge more and take that song that starts lighter and turn it dark. Kind of how they flip Carini and go from the dark to the light with it. If you could do that with that song, maybe you'd like it more. Maybe it would have a little bit better place to be if it got there a little bit more. And let me just say this too, Kev. I'm surprised, not surprised, but I wouldn't say disappointed. I'm just shocked they didn't play Mound tonight. I thought they'd play Mound where they played either Train or Theme.
How about that throw? How about that throw? It was a ball, but he got it over the plate. No bounce. No short of the plate.
He got to the plate. I don't think he got over the plate. He got to the plate and a little outside. But it was a serviceable throw. You've seen a lot worse, trust me.
And they played trucks and buses when he came out and they called him Leo. They were like throwing Leo. That guy was on point. Whoever the announcer
the PA was on point. I will say that guy had it. That was good. His script was good. But I digress. Like I definitely hoped that we would get a Mound inspired because of that. But Trey did joke about it in the encore finally, but it took a lot to get him to even do that. So
none of that for you. Now, was Squirming Coil not the most perfect song to do in that bowl? The ancient Coliseum feeling with Trey with just Paige out there playing the piano. It's Perfect.
It had to be
Good for
done.
them.
Like it had to be done, right? Like I'm sure Renee got some incredible pictures of like shooting back into the bowl with Paige playing. I can't wait to see some of the shots from that. I'm sure they're gorgeous. Because yeah, it looked amazing, and you had to do it. It was the first. It was that. I mean, that's as obvious as Mound was. I thought, right? Like, I mean, can you not? I don't know. Yes, of course you're going to get a Coil with Paige with a walk off there. It was his day anyway.
Wherever they did it, did they do it in LA? Wasn't that where they did it at the Bowl or at the Hollywood Bowl to close the set over spring tour? I think they did, and it was also perfect there. It's the venue. I think that song.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
venues.
right. Because you have to give him the moment and like that feel.
Right.
So yeah, I would.
The pianist, out there, like he should flip his tails up before he sits down.
Right. Exactly. It was at the Bowl. Yeah, they did do a spring tour at the Bowl. You're right. I remember that. So yeah, it's so good.
Absolutely fantastic. All right. We'll be back over the weekend. Member hangs too. We got the lot tomorrow. Tim's coming on. Hopefully we get Llama on. We're just going to talk about the last few shows, the end of the run coming up. We made an announcement to the members the other night that we are going to be partnering with volume.com, and we're going to be over there. If you look down in the description of this video, click on the link, give us your email. We're not going to spam you, but they asked us to collect emails so we could let everybody know when we
send you stuff,
make a few changes, I guess. Yes, make a few changes, I guess, is the best way to put it. And we love you guys. Let's jump into the second set. We are moving on up. This is good for us, and it's going to be good for you guys too. Trust me.
It's good for us. And it's better for you. It'll be awesome. Right. Like shit is going to be happening.
I will never ask you to go to a second location.
Never go to a second location with Andy.
Right. Punch You in the Eye is probably, for me, beyond Antelope, the quintessential Phish song.
Yes. Yeah. Very much.
They want to be hard. It's got venom to it, but the landlady was off. Did you feel like it was a step slow?
Yeah. Yeah. It did. But it was such a great shock to open the second set with. Like it's so fun as an opener on the first set because it kind of sets the tone and gets you going and like but to get it there I thought was so good. And we talked it we'll talk about that here coming up. We knew it was coming. It was a good call. I mean, it was on deck for sure. It's about time. But
right. It's
I don't know.
It's such a beautiful song.
We talked in Intermission about what we thought would be in this set. So it was kind of surprised.
Ghost came up, Wave of Hope. What's the use? Ruby Waves.
I really thought Wave of Hope would open the set, so it was nice to get the Punch surprise. That was a really nice surprise, and a little bit extended again at the beginning, like almost a slow build Punch, like medium fast build Punch into it, but like you got a little bit of a build into it. It didn't like kick in right away, which is really cool that it's going in. And that's what helped extend it out to that 10.
It's a hot riff.
It is a hot riff.
Got this 16 minutes of Ghost I will take against a lot of the other Ghosts that people will put up as the best Ghost ever. I felt like it was the perfect spot for it. It was the perfect moment, and for being 16 minutes, they packed 30 minutes worth of ideas into it.
Yep.
It was sludgy. Yeah. It was sludgy. It's what we've been missing with all the Bliss. We've been blissed out for so many shows.
And you knew like that part of the run of 3 songs that open these sets. It was nice to get that in the middle of it and get that sort of jam in it instead of like that rising peak full blissy jam, and got a little bit of that. What you want and kind of what I was saying, the role Melt would have filled in this second set had they played it somewhere, like getting a little bit of that feel in it, which was needed and awesome in there, because then you're going to go so high with Wave of Hope, which is such a fucking like rocking, fast paced, go get them song. So it was nice to get that Ghost funk slow down sludge before we got into 30 minutes of these 2 songs. So it was a nice little yin and yang, so to speak, as far as like what you were getting musically, as far as what went down.
Right.
I love it. It was a great one too with that.
Right. As for Wave of Hope, it's basically what you get with Wave of Hope. It got interesting towards the end, but I felt like as soon as it really was going to go somewhere, they dropped into What's the Use, which, like I say, I'll take any day of the week. Just beautiful. The pause in What's the Use is superior to the pause in Divided Sky because most people don't know that it's there. So you get this John Cage thing. You hear people talking. You hear all these weird, people don't expect it like they do with Divided Sky. And I think it's just such a brilliant little crowd participation thing where we don't even know we're participating.
And it comes back so much slower. Like it's such a slower rise than Divided Skies. Like, it's just got the note and then it comes. This one has that slow sort of comeback in. I'm curious what you think of Wave of Hope, because you used to really like that song as sort of
too many of them.
Yeah.
But it's consistent. It always has a good jam. And I tell you what, the lyric to it, the verse of it, the chorus rhymes. The verse doesn't rhyme. The stuff he sings in the beginning is like some freeform poem. So it gets points from me for that, because it isn't some stupid I'm a pinball machine floating around space or whatever,
Okay. All right. I was curious because I know you stand it for so long, liked it for so long, especially because it did so much and was like such a consistently big jam song. And then it's kind of like fallen off, and it did get played a lot, like a lot of songs.
What's going through your mind? What's going through your mind is superior lyrics, and it's taken the jams more interesting places than Wave of Hope is more a Grateful Dead vehicle, where the jam's always going to be the same in it. It's going to be like a Fire on the Mountain where it's always the same jam you're getting. Yeah. Whereas what's going through your mind has been EDM and it's been blues. It's gone all over the place.
Yep. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. What's the use though? Fun slowdown right there. If you're going to get that slowdown in that spot, that's one of the best ones to get.
Definitely.
It's the Steve Vai song. I always say it reminds me so much of Steve Vai. It's crazy. I love it every time. And that's immediately what I think of. So yeah. Awesome. And then there it is. Sweet Ruby Tits. We knew she was going to show up tonight.
3 minutes of hell for 18 minutes of bliss.
Break me out of this prison of limes. I mean, the jam's fantastic.
Timber. It was timber. It was full on timber for a little while there.
Yes, I texted you right away. I was like, Kev, you're getting your timber back, and you're like, timber reprise, people. Timber reprise.
Do it. It did not.
It was a great jam. I know some people are very excited to get a Ruby Waves and actually enjoy the lyrics at the front half and then the jam. I don't know. I like Kev. I prefer as soon as it gets out of the limes that then the shit gets real. And this one was unique though, and the jam was fantastic again, which this song always does. I don't think you can really bitch about the jams that you get out of it, but
why that 3 minutes? Why not something, anything? She needed the money. Ruby Waves. She needed the money. Apparently, someone in Phish's front office or someone in the organization, Lisa, it was her birthday. So we got the obligatory backward down the number line, which if you work for Phish and Trey is aware enough to play that for you on your birthday, God bless,
Right.
And I have no issue with the song. Right. We made it so far into this set where before they stopped, backward down the number line was cool and the zero was cool. Good for them. Big rock and roll. Let's tempt fate a little bit and try to turn it up.
I thought it was a really good, honestly, like it was an abrupt turn, right? Like getting those two right there, but it worked in the fact like you got the 21-minute Ruby Waves, which did everything you needed the jam to do. So you got your consistent, you got your great opener, you got the 3-song run of the good jam songs, you got a huge one out of Ruby Waves, and then you got number lined out of it for a reason, but then the zero kind of, I don't know, those two went together. The number line and the zero worked as those two songs, like, because usually you would think also Trey was
smiling during zero. He was looking over at everyone.
And he had to play it because otherwise I feel like Numberline could have filled that whole 12-minute void there, right? Like you could have gotten a jam and Numberline just to close that set. But I know you want to get that zero in there and get that rock and roll moment in that bowl. So it's cool he got it in there. Like rock and roll Trey always.
He loved that. He kept looking at everyone. Are you having as much fun as me? And they're like, yeah, Trey, it's the best thing we've ever done.
You gotta love it, man. Love the enthusiasm. Love the smile. I mean, and the line has totally re-energized him. And I think that makes him happy too, that he can look down there and see clearly those two. And then Page, the communication with him and Page without communicating now has just, considering they haven't moved, it's just so different. It's on another level. So I don't know. It's crazy. The encores though, what'd you think? It was an interesting 3-song run of encores, I thought. Like,
yeah, Sneakin' Sally is a weird song to choose for the encore because it has the potential to be much bigger than the song itself. But I was thinking, listening to it, how many of them probably had a Sally? Is it weird for you to be singing that song? You know, I don't know. No. I've never had a Sally myself, but
I thought the 6-minute Sally was interesting though. Like it was weird.
Vocal jam, little weird vocal thing they got into, which was
It was an interesting short version, like to get the other 2 songs in, and then you got a Rockin' Wilson, which always so much fun. The white lights,
the children. The homeowners association message board lit up. They're chanting. They're doing some weird chant over there right now.
The cult is chanting. The bass is rattling my windows, and now they're chanting.
The bass player's just playing scales. What's going on over there? Oh, Rocky Top twice. It hadn't shown up in 4.0 before this tour, and we got 2 of them. And good for them. Get your corn from the jar and enjoy yourself some Phish.
It reminds me so much of like, again, like, you know, the old days, like the 90s, when you'd get this as an encore every now and again, you know, more times than I wanted, but it's always fun. Like, it's just, I don't know. It was a very fun encore from that respect, like very Sneakin' Wilson Rocky Top. I don't know. You could throw that in a 96, 97 show and be like, awesome. So a lot of fun. I think the venue was really cool and a lot of fun for them to play in. I don't know if they'll ever be back, but everybody that got to go,
they won't.
I'm sure enjoyed the hell
out
of it.
I bet you they try to cancel concerts from here on out. After Giz last year and they have what, Dr. Dog coming up. They got a bunch of other concerts.
Is Giz playing again there this year? I think
with the symphony, maybe not. I don't know. They're doing that symphony tour, which sounds
they're coming here. Yeah, they're playing the bowl here. So.
Okay.
Right on. That was fun though, Kev. Another solid 2 nights during the week. A solid Tuesday, Wednesday show. I like tonight better than last night all around. Both sets. I feel like
I don't think they're going to break the top 10 for the tour out of 23 shows. I don't think either.
But I thought tonight was a good. We talked about the Vampire first set, and I think tonight they kind of broke that curse a little bit because tonight's first set was, once you got through the cities onward, was really complete and good.
And so the Ether Edge really does get bonus points, but I feel like it stole Timber's jam. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the lot.